Hey, what is going on, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at this massive 1/35 scale Sinanju bust. So this box is huge and barely fits here in my space, so I'm going to do my best to unbox this and show you guys everything. But this is not necessarily a new kit. This came out a little while back from Billion Spark is the company that came out with this kit. And like I said, it's just a 1/35 scale bust. That means basically the top half of the Sinanju, as you can see here. A little bit of backstory about this particular kit. It's one that I was always kind of interested in building, but I never went ahead and got one to build. Now this one was one that was actually bought and sent out to one of you guys, but unfortunately it was missing a piece, so it was returned and then we got the person a replacement one. But so this one for the time being is still missing a piece. Now I believe it's missing one of these pieces, either the top or the bottom part of like the backpack. I'm not too worried about it. Hopefully a replacement part will be on the way, but if not, I think that'll be okay based on what my plan is for this. But for now, you guys can see here on the back of the box just what it's going to look like when it's all built up. Over here in the corner you can see that this comes with LEDs, it comes with metal parts, it comes with waterside decals, and it's a pretty big, large kit, as you guys can tell just from the size of this box here. There's a ton of stuff in here. Also, with this being the limited edition, I guess we have more metal parts in there that we can use. Not necessarily sure that I will use those, but we'll see how those end up looking. It tells you the dimensions down here at the bottom, that it's going to be 31.5 centimeters in height when that's up to the antenna. I imagine the wings probably stick up a little bit further than that even. But it's going to be a big kit, and the reason why I wanted to take a look at this now is because I finally have my airbrush set up and working. I think it should be working. The ventilation I'm still kind of iffy on if the ventilation is really working that well enough yet, but I thought that this would be a great, albeit quite large, a great project to start for like my first airbrushed kit here in the new studio space. It'll be a nice big project. So this is halfway an unboxing for this kit, and then halfway kind of like the first part of a work in progress working on this kit. So I'll be airbrushing this. Won't be just necessarily doing too much in the way of other customization, I don't think, at this point, but we'll get to that maybe more in some later videos. For now, like I said, it's a bit of a challenge to show this to you guys just because of the very limited space here. But popping it open, we've got all the runners and also all the components here in a separate box, it looks like. There you go, you guys can see in there. So this box here on the side should be all the other stuff. Well, no, there's some other parts in there, actually. So we have this other separate box here. There's some of the larger pieces and stuff in there. Right here would be the decals and instruction manuals. So let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this massive. So this is like A4, even larger than A4. I don't know what the larger, I think it would be B4. It's the next size up from that, but anyway, very large decal sheet here. As you guys can see, it's even separated by sections, so head, body, base, shoulder, for example. So mostly white and red, it looks like, and they look pretty good. So I think I can probably use those. I won't really need to use other decals. I think I can use those, but again, depending on how it goes with my idea for this kit, I may not use necessarily all of those, or maybe not even any of them, but we'll see. I can if I decide to go for, you know, as it is, if I decide to make it like this, but I'm not sure I am going to at this point. Anyway, so here is our parts list. As you guys can see here, the check marks were kindly done by whichever one of you guys had this kit and was in the process of checking everything off, and then unfortunately found that it was missing one of the pieces, and I believe it was, let's see. Oh no, it is an internal piece. I thought it was one of the red pieces, but no, it's this part here on the inside of the wing. So that would be on the inside of this wing. So okay, we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I think a replacement part is on the way. Fingers crossed. If not, we'll make it work. Here's a look at the circuit components for the LED unit. Oof, that looks like a lot. The limited edition metal parts for the Vulcans and the verniers, basically. So for the Vulcans, I think I'll definitely probably use those. For the verniers, I'm not sure. I might swap out just to regular plastic ones for those. But here's how the instruction manual looks. So pretty interesting. It's like all in color and like quite detailed here, obviously. Very different in terms of just like how it looks from your standard like Bandai manual. Here on the center pages is the decal guide. You got all that right there. The fuel tanks, I'm not really big of a fan of the design of the fuel tanks. They're a little bit like overly complicated, like design-wise, but that's fine. We'll see. Here's the head and then just kind of a little bit about how stuff moves. So like how you can open up the shoulders, open up the cockpit, spread out the wing parts on the backpack a little bit, spread out these kind of fins there on the backpack. So there's your color guide here as well. That's all there in English. So that's it for the manual. And I'm not going to go through all of the runners, but here we'll take a look at some of the stuff inside. So here is all of our metal parts. See, we got the springs, and then these ring parts will be going over the springs. There you got some quite large metal parts there for the thruster bells. So got all of our LED components right here in this bag like that. Here is some of the clear parts. So you have clear parts like these right here, for example, around the cockpit. That'll look really cool. Clear blue ones that go in the thruster bells. I believe it said there's 14 LEDs in total. Here is the base, this big massive part here for that. Some of like the internal parts here in gray, like you can see, this is obviously the face part. Some of that detail there, that looks really cool, like some more of these mechanical type parts around the midsection, I think that is probably. The gold is plated, so it's very shiny plated gold. I'm probably going to be doing away with that, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And then like it's going to fit together with your black parts, very similar to like the real grade kit. If you guys have built the real grade, how the black parts fit in between the gold, so that's how that's going to work. A lot of these larger individual parts are just like saran wrapped, interestingly enough, so I don't know if that's just like to protect the extra glossy finish of the plastic or something, because as you guys can see here, it is a pretty high gloss finish there on that. So even if you were to not paint this kit and just build it up straight out the box, I mean, that's pretty shiny. And this piece is the culprit that we're missing. So this is the one that, yeah, is going to go on the inside top of the back of the backpack. So that's problematic, I think, but we'll see. Here's the pieces for like inside the torso, so you guys can get an idea of just kind of the size of this. It's definitely going to be pretty large. Here on this saran wrapped runner is also the part for the top of the head. It's also a good part to use as a kind of indicator to get an idea of how big it's going to be. I mean, yeah, that high gloss red looks fantastic. So even if you were to not paint this kit, I mean, just build it up, put the decals on there. I think it'd be a really good looking kit just as it is, with all the LEDs and everything installed as well. And on that note, that's my next step for this kit, is I'm going to be building it all up, putting it together without the LEDs, just to get an idea of how everything's looking and all of that, and then I'll kind of figure out what my plan is going to be as far as any sort of customization to it. And then we'll have to disassemble everything, sand everything a bunch, because I can already tell from some of these parts that there's like a little bit of like a mold line, just like a lip along the edge here, that at least it's going to take some sanding, and I'm going to be painting on this, so that high gloss finish really doesn't matter. Unfortunately, I'll probably just give everything just a light sanding in. For a lot of quite large pieces like this, it's gonna take a while to sand everything, but I want to build everything all up first, get a sense of everything, and then we'll move on with how I'm going to be painting it and all of that. And then, you know, putting the LEDs in will be a part of like the final construction of it once everything's all painted, and once I'm putting everything all back together. That's when I'll be able to put the LEDs in. But for now, guys, that is going to be it for this video, guys. For all your Gunpla needs, supplies, paints, all that good stuff, check the link down below to USA Gundam Store. Thank you all, as always, for your support. If you'd also like to like and subscribe, you know, ring that bell if you want to make sure you don't miss any of the future updates on this kit in particular, and then anything else that I'm coming out with for you guys. You can do that. That'd be greatly appreciated. But until next time, hope y'all have a great day. I'll see y'all soon. Bye-bye.